You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Gene. Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Archer After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Archer After Show.
Oh, hello there, Internet. How are you?
Fabulous, how are you?
Oh, well, you're not the Internet.
That's my middle name.
Oh, come on now. Hey, everybody. This is AFTERBUZZ TV. We are talking Archer. This is Season 5 of the show, Episode 12. Only one episode left until the season... Well, it is a season finale, yeah. After this, this one titled Filibuster. And man, oh man, it was a good one tonight. We are excited. Who are we? As always, I'm Greg Goodness.
I want to be Shane, but I'll be Roya Taheri.
Well, you were stuck earlier, so you could be stuck, Shane. No. I'm Scott Moore.
And just for tonight, I'm Zach Wilson.
You're always Zach Wilson. Don't try to, mess it around here. Guys, we are incredibly excited because tonight we actually have on the phone, in a short while, we will have Lucky Yates. You know him as the voice of Krieger and also the Krieger clones in this episode.
Wait, Cusack?
The Doppelkriegers.
Oh, that wasn't the word I was looking for, but...
Clone bone.
Thank you.
We're going to be throwing that around for probably the next decade or so.
Ideally, all of us should have done that together.
Right.
Can we do a take two?
I was just so happy to see that make its return, and that it's not just like a random thing that they threw out, that the clone bone is something that they all worked on and have synchronized this perfectly.
Well, most people have the high five. They have the clone bone.
Yeah.
And Krieger's just like, I'm not sure about the clone bone.
Yeah, he's not
comfortable with that.
Not entirely on board, because the first time that I saw it, I was like, yeah, this is cool, but also if someone was asking me to do that, never in a million years, I would not be excited to take part in that. So I can understand.
Speak for yourself.
Oh, come on.
But keep in mind, those are exact duplicates of yourself, i.e. your brothers.
Is it really? I mean, I know he's calling them brothers, but is it really?
Is it really? I know. There could be some
a father could,
slight
give
differences
birth to you, but it doesn't mean
there.
he's your father. Wait, I know where we're going with this.
I want you to think through each part of that. No, but they are brothers. I mean, they're even closer than most brothers. They're the same person.
Yeah.
Although I guess that...
I should leave for that.
Well, now we're getting into
Maybe I should
a
leave for my
question.
comment too.
We're getting into a question of nature versus nurture. Are they really the same person, or have their life experiences been so radically different that they are no longer considered the same person? I mean, we got to see a little bit of it tonight, where obviously our hero Krieger, for lack of a better term, I guess we can't call him the original if he's a clone. Our hero Krieger did something very valiant and heroic.
So we don't know
we
if
don't know.
he's the clone or not.
Yeah, it could be the original, couldn't he? I mean, the original.
The only thing I can think of is the vampires thing. The comments you didn't notice when I was gone for so long, but
yeah.
I still think, and I tried to find the exact moment that they said this, that he is just a genetic clone of Hitler, not part DNA. I couldn't find the episode that it's in, so I may be just talking out of my ass.
No, we've been debating this the entire
have.
time. Oh,
Yeah.
do we have
Somebody that might be able to
Lucky
clarify
on
for
the
us?
line?
no.
No.
No,
That
you
was
were
somebody's
excited.
rumble.
Yeah, you're
It's like
like,
you're waiting
you're
for
like,
Santa.
You're waiting for Santa, you
No,
know.
exactly.
Christmas.
No, it's all good. We might as well talk about then a little bit of what's going on in this episode relating directly to our hero Krieger, as it were. He is coming in and saving the day from a giant missile that is pointed at God knows where.
That is assuming that God. That is the what was that line?
Well, that presupposes
Presupposes the existence of God.
right. and is also just within range of the Upper East Side.
By about 20 miles.
Yes, exactly.
Meaning that Mallory has reason to be concerned because she is now personally invested.
Better hope it doesn't take a wrong turn to Albuquerque.
What does that? That has nothing to do with anything, good
Clone
sir.
bone. I'm just gonna say that one.
Fill it in. Yeah. This is interesting though, because we're back into that sort of cliffhanger moment that we saw. It really reminded me of the Space Race episode. I don't know if it did that for you guys, or if there was any other episodes. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Were there any other like real cliffhangers where it's like the national security and or the world is dependent on Krieger, and, or rather Archer?
A little bit in the Sea Lab episode, the Sea Tunt two-parter.
True, yeah.
You get a bit of that. But this is like more serialized than we've ever seen Archer be.
Yeah,
this it's not a two-parter, it's not a three-parter. It's just like
a four-parter.
Just they had the 1 and 2 over the last 2 weeks, but then it's just an ongoing story.
Yeah, it's interesting that even though this is called Filibuster, it's no longer Palace of Intrigue part what have you. We're picking up right where we left off in the previous one.
I mean, in a big way, Archer Vice is just one ongoing like 13-parter. Or 12-parter, whatever we're at.
Yeah, I mean, we've definitely seen the more serialized version of their trying to sell cocaine. Obviously, that kind of fell to the wayside after about 6 or 7 episodes. We realized that we were completely out of cocaine. So, I don't know. It's interesting to see like where this is going to pick up. And, I mean, I have to assume that they'll probably save the day at some point over the coming episode. But man, oh man, we got a lot going into it too.
I know. It's like, how are they going to wrap everything up here in this season finale?
Yeah, because not only is the entire world at stake now, or at least any place within 2,000 miles of this warhead, we guess, full of nerve gas, we have Lana's baby on the way, too. Lana is, one of us called it earlier. I don't
know. You might forget who it is, so I don't. Maybe,
who was that?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Who predicted that Lana would start to go into labor in this episode?
You know, I can't remember. There was only 3 of you guys last week, right?
Well,
that's right. There were all 3 of us.
I believe that person's name began with an R. But that doesn't make any sense because there's no one. Oh, it was Roya. It was you.
Wasn't me.
You predicted it.
Wasn't Rot Moore?
I just learned this hand movement.
It was Reg Rudness and Rack Wilson.
Wilson.
Yeah.
Scooby Doo on this show now.
Exactly. All of our prediction versions of ourselves are just Scooby Doo disguised. I don't know what the proper verbiage for that is. No, but it's going to be interesting to see Lana trying to fight her way out of a war-torn country.
Do you think that was a legit baby break, water break?
I mean, I think so. It would be a brilliant tactical maneuver.
Because maybe she noticed something during that whole thing and knew she could get out.
I mean, she almost seemed like she knew what was up.
Yeah.
When she was like, yeah, of course, there with the CIA. I thought for a second, I was like, does she know?
That's a good point. That is a very good point, though, because I didn't think of it that way. I was thinking, because I kept thinking the last episode she's going to go into labor anyway, so I was just right along with she is.
Huh.
No, I definitely do see your point, though, because
I got ADD and I was listening to something else.
I could tell. I was like, okay.
Squirrel?
No, exactly.
Lucky?
I think that, it could be a tactical maneuver, because, not to be too graphic, you guys, but when a water breaks, like, there's an implication there. There's actual stuff going on that we didn't see. There was no...
Well, but it was in the last, like, good 10 seconds of the episode.
All right, well...
Literally.
Not to interrupt, but I do believe...
Please interrupt.
Lucky, are you on the line with us?
Yeah, I'm totally here.
Oh,
yes,
Lucky.
here I am.
Fantastic. Good to hear you, sir. First off, we have to say a fantastic job on this season so far. We have loved seeing... Krieger come in full force and really come
right
into
on,
his
you
own.
too.
So thank you for giving us a beautiful, beautiful voice to listen to.
Hey, you got it. A beautiful voice. I don't know if my voice has ever been described as being beautiful.
Oh, we love it.
Yes.
We love it over here. So let's start.
Awesome.
Let's start all the way back at the beginning, Lucky. How did you first get into voice acting? What made you want to go into the business?
Well, I mean, all I've ever wanted to be was an actor, and I studied it in college and everything like that. So, I work at Dad's Garage Theater with Amber Nash. We
Oh, wow.
are a big part of a theater company here in Atlanta. We do improv every single weekend, and we also do our own scripted work. And yeah, so it's all I've ever wanted to do. And I mean, I'm coming at voice stuff pretty late in the game. I'm in my 40s, so it's just all part of the whole world of acting, if you will.
Well, hey, it definitely fell into place for you. Now, you've worked in the past with Adam. You were a voice of an Exticle on Frisky Dingo, correct?
That is true, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely true.
How did that come about, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, I don't mind at all. Back when it was 70-30, when they did C-Lab and Frisky Dingo, it was a really small operation. It was Matt and Adam and like 5 guys in a little house in East Atlanta. And the 5 dudes were the animators. And a couple of those guys worked at the theater with me and Amber. One of the guys still does, Christian Danley, works on Archer.
Oh, cool.
And when they needed various voices and stuff like that, they would, try their buddies out. And Amber and I, because Amber was in Frisky Dingo as well. So, yeah, so we were in on that show and just became buddies with everybody.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Now, it sounds like you touched on it a little bit there, that it was an operation with 5 animators back in the day and sort of much more homegrown. How has Archer been? How has the experience of working on Archer been different from working on something like Frisky Dingo?
Well, back when we did Frisky Dingo, their sound booth was literally this tiny closet that was in this house that they outfitted as a sound booth. So, I don't even know how to describe this, the ridiculous dimensions of this closet, but it was so small. And they locked you in it from the outside. And it was like a claustrophobic person's nightmare. And it was sweaty. There was zero ventilation in the whole thing, and it was horrible. And we recorded. That's where we recorded, in there. And then they just recorded it out on their computer. Well, now we get to go to an actual studio to record, and we're not locked in anywhere.
Oh, and
no, very nice.
No awkward contorting positions to fit inside the booth.
No.
It sounds like a torture chamber.
It sounds like my apartment.
Get the lines right, or you don't get to come out.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. At least the landlord doesn't lock you in at night.
That's fantastic.
Maybe not.
Well, now that you're at least a little more comfortable when you're recording the voice, I mean, is there anything that you have to do before you go in the booth to either prepare your voice or even just to sort of get in the headspace of Krieger? Because you play an insane character.
No, I know. It's the best. We get the script a couple of days beforehand, so I always read it a couple of times just to make sure I know what I'm doing. And other than that, no, I just go in. Hopefully the later in the better, because I'm not a morning person. I don't know. Krieger's just really my voice, so I don't do anything really that different. Guzzle it. Am I allowed to curse on this? I swear like a sailor, but I'm really trying to curb myself.
Yeah, it's frowned upon, but definitely
yeah,
not
well,
totally.
Then, yeah, forget it. I won't. It's frowned upon.
I'm not
By
gonna.
the higher ups.
Yeah, I'm
Who
not
would
gonna.
frown upon it? Is it that man that called me?
Phil frowns upon.
Wow.
It. We love it, but
Never heard Phil called a man before.
I think you could get away with it. We might get in trouble.
yeah.
No, yeah, I'll keep it cool. Anyway, what was I saying? I don't even remember what I was talking about.
We were just talking about how you sort of get into the headspace of Krieger, but it sounds like you
Oh
just
yeah,
go
no,
in.
I don't.
Yeah.
I guzzle a bunch of coffee and go in.
That's
Get a little zippy.
That's awesome. So, I mean, this season we've definitely seen Krieger become more of a member of the actual team. You're always sort of the mad scientist who would pop in from time to time, but now you're like an actual integral part of each working episode.
Right.
Did you work with Adam to sort of flesh out your character, or did that sort of happen naturally?
It's been a totally organic build. I think Adam, really likes writing him. And he and I are good buddies. He's down here too. So I don't know. I think he just enjoys having Krieger in it. Yeah, it's been the whole build rise of Krieger has been a really effing cool experience because it completely. Dude, in the first couple of episodes, he was silent. Like, he didn't even speak. And so, for him to then grow into a character who gets a slot in the opening credits is insane. It's so cool. I love it.
Well, it's certainly...
I wouldn't have wanted it to happen any other way.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly a well-deserved spot in the opening credits, by the way.
I'm very curious, when he first approached you with the character, how did he describe Krieger to you as he's trying to pitch, like, let's do this guy?
You know what? I don't think he even really did. He showed me a picture of Krieger's head, and then he said, it's a James Bond show, because, nothing had aired yet or anything like that. They were just recording, and I knew Amber was in that. Amber's the one that suggested me for the role. She'd recorded a couple of episodes already, and then they needed somebody for Krieger, and she was like, "Well, call Lucky," and they were like, "Yeah, of course." We should have thought of from the beginning, and so they did, and that was that. So he explained it in James Bond terms. It was just like, it's a spy agency, and this guy's like Q, and he's a little weird. And I was like, all right, great. Weird's great.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's definitely gone from a weird character to a fully formed human being weird character.
That's an understatement.
To one of a hive of Krieger.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask you about that, actually. We've saw in these past few episodes the introduction of Krieger clones. Did you try to do the same voice for all of them, or were you given a little bit of a tweak to each of them?
Yeah, it's the same voice, man, but it's such a dumb actor-y thing to say. God, I hate myself for even saying this out loud. But I tried to think of them differently. You know what I mean? The third one, and there really is no big difference in the way they talk.
Right.
No big difference. There's no difference at all. But to me, the third one is the dumb one, and the second one is sort of the Larry yes man, just sort of the schlub in the middle that gets tugged, and then the first one is the mean leader. So it's essentially the Three Stooges.
Oh, yeah. I can see
the Mo, the dumb Larry, and, the dopey wild card curly type. And of course I am talking the original Three Stooges are not that horrible film.
And it was fun. We got to see, you're absolutely right, a little bit of that in the fight sequence for sure, the way that they're sort of ordering each other around and doing that. So that was a lot of fun to see.
That fight sequence.
I mean,
pure glory.
Yeah, it was really fun to watch. Now, when you were first approached about doing multiple Kriegers, was that exciting or daunting or confusing? What was your reaction when you first got pitched that idea?
I was like, oh no, this is the greatest thing on the planet. Except that I felt a little bad because, Amber and I, we hit the con circuit last year. We did a lot of conventions, and I can't remember what question we would get, but Amber's pretty consistent answer would be that, I guess if we ever had a spin-off or something, she would want a, Life on Poobie Farms, Pam would move back home, and it would be all of her family, but she would voice all the characters like the Clumps, those bad Eddie Murphy, Nutty Professor movies, the Clumps. And then she wanted that, so she would say that a lot, and then they gave me this, and I was like, Amber, I got your idea, and they're doing it with me, and I felt crappy, and I don't know, I never asked her if she was bothered by it. But screw it. I win.
Hey, she still might get that spin-off show.
Who knows?
Never know.
True.
Krieger clones is not mutually exclusive.
She could hire Krieger clones to work the fields.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I would want Krieger to move to whatever small town she is in to become sort of the horse doctor.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Horse boy talker, probably, with all the
Yeah,
mutants.
well, you know, what better place for Krieger to run out of than a farm?
Exactly. Now we get to see in this episode, Krieger's always been sort of like a morally ambiguous character, at least in my
chaotic
mind.
neutral is how I always align him.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. Like, did you see him as a bad character or a good guy? Did this sort of
No,
episode arc inform that?
I see him really as being chaotic neutral. Like he's always been in it for himself.
Mm-hmm.
So I love when he is a hero. You know, like his weird little hero moments.
Right.
I think in this past episode, the one that just aired tonight, he is definitely the most heroic he's ever been. Jesus, he killed three dudes.
Yeah, that's what we were saying.
Without, you know, I mean, like, doesn't try to stun them. He flat out tries to kill them. And so, his sort of development into a good guy. Now, I don't know if you guys caught this, but the ambiguity of which Krieger climbed up and put the tie back on is, you know, something of a mystery.
Yeah.
Because I even asked, when it was in the script, I was like, wait a minute, is it our Krieger? Because it just says, a Krieger put the tie on. And, you know, and I'm just like, is it our Krieger? And everybody's like, we don't know. And only Adam knows if it's the Krieger that comes out.
Oh, man.
That's
Interesting.
Yeah, it might not be our Krieger.
Because we were just
Think
thinking about it.
that one. Chew on that one.
Ooh, that totally.
I mean, Pam calls it right away.
Yeah, she says
Wait a minute, that might not be our guy.
Yeah.
And they're like, shut up.
always telling Pam to shut up, never listening, warning that it might be a Krieger ganger. Or a doppelkrieger. Yeah.
Doppelkrieger.
Yeah.
Or a vampire.
It might be mean old Clone 1.
Ooh,
or
boy.
maybe it's Dopey Happy Clone.
Do you know if we get to figure that out in the season finale, or are your lips locked on that one?
I know that we do not hear anything about it in the final. Finale. No.
So we have to wait.
I mean, no. There's more allusions to, I think, us not knowing which one he is. But no, we never. It's never resolved.
Oh man,
that's gonna be burning a hole in my heart now.
Yeah.
In my head, trying to figure it all
I
out.
like them apples.
Wow. Well, switching tracks a little bit here, not just to this specific episode, but this is a pretty wide question, so feel free to think about this one for a second. But has there been a single favorite episode that you can think of where you're just like, I love everything that I get to say in this episode? This is by far and away.
I mean, it's hands down. It's Lo Scandalo, where he gets rid of the body of the Italian Prime Minister that Valerie murders.
Oh, when he's taking selfies of himself with the body.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a pure
Mallory
gold
has sex with and kills the Italian Prime Minister, and she calls Krieger to come and remove the body, and he somehow magically chops it up and cleans up the bathroom all on his own and separates it into a bunch of little parcels.
Which, if I remember correctly, is supposed to be dropped at various points throughout Manhattan in the form of a smiley face.
That is absolutely correct.
Yes! Validating my binge watch.
That was his first hero episode. Like, it was like, yeah, Krieger saved the day.
Right.
In a really gross way. But that was, I think, where he really fully blossomed, too.
Right.
And so, yeah, like with the happy face thing, just it being really weird. And there's, there's the ambiguous thing that's up the Prime Minister's butt when he dies that Krieger hangs onto, or at least he hangs onto something that's in a long cylindrical package, because he keeps that one.
Yeah, definitely a great episode. And you're right, that was sort of the first episode where we got to see Krieger fully shine as an individual.
Yep.
Oh, great call.
Yep.
Great call.
So that's my favorite one. It's a very selfish answer.
Hey, no, that's the entire point, right? Maybe a favorite line.
And the rest of the cast, all loves the Titanic episode, the one on the blimp. And Krieger's not in that episode. I'm always like, screw you guys. I'm not even in that one.
Yeah, we don't care much for that episode either, right, guys?
Right.
Yeah. Do you maybe have a favorite line that you can remember, or just one where you're like, this is too weird, like you couldn't get through it, or something like that?
No, I can, because I get them in advance. I make sure I bone up on. There was a time there was a couple of them. I think I had to speak German in, and there's is there Portuguese in one or something? I can't remember. And a few medical terms I have to look up the pronunciations of sometimes. But wait, what was the question? Rambling.
Yeah. No. Favorite line, if you had one, or one that you had trouble.
Oh, favorite line. Wait, that's not what I was talking about at all.
No, it was all very relevant.
My favorite line. I really dug smoke bomb. I love the smoke bomb moment.
Oh yeah, with no actual smoke bomb. Yeah.
Yeah, of saying smoke bomb and running away.
Yeah.
It's the best. And I really loved doing this. Like touches the nerd side of me. I love doing this Heston's final rant from the original Planet of the Apes.
Oh yeah.
He's done it twice. He did it when they smashed the original hologram girlfriend, and then he did it again when he was describing what he did to the submarine.
Yeah.
And all the cocaine.
Yeah, that was a great reference. We all really dug that one, and a great reading of that too. So, bravo on that.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. And it's one of my top 3 favorite films. So I love getting to do it. I love it.
Cool.
Perfect. Now, you just finished up a AMA on Reddit today, right?
It's true, I did.
Yeah. What was the weirdest question that you got out of that? Because, I mean, it's the internet. It's just people lobbing weirdness at you, right?
Somebody, and, the really super weird ones, I just kind of glanced over, because there's a lot of good, legitimate questions in there. I want to not really, it's like, look, weirdos. I'm not going to even...
dignify that.
Yeah, I'm going to ignore you, and hopefully you'll go away. Except they did answer one. I don't even know why I answered it. I think I was on a roll of just answering. Mm-hmm. And so I answered somebody that asked me what my favorite sexual position is. Why did I answer that? And I think I gave it an actual answer.
Ooh, that was me. I'm so sorry.
Was it you?
That was me,
yes, Roy's doing her research before tonight.
Sorry.
I hope that was. What did I say?
I was like, so what did you say?
I have a question. I'm also.
Are you not allowed to repeat what I said because that man?
Oh no, I was just being sorry. I don't want to share.
Anyway, go ahead. I cut you off.
Well, I'm looking for a little bit of clarification because we've kind of gone back and forth because we're not sure. Is Krieger a Hitler genetic duplicate clone, or is he just part Hitler? Do you know?
Is he just what? A part Hitler?
Is he part Hitler, or is he a genetic duplicate of Hitler?
Dude, I don't know. I have no idea. You know what? I've never seen The Boys from Brazil, so I do not know the answer. I really should watch that movie. You would think 5 seasons in, I would have seen it at this point.
No, it's at the top of my Netflix queue too, because it's been referenced so many times.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen it either. They've talked about it so often on this show that I'm very curious.
We're all curious.
Yeah,
right.
It's supposed to be an amazing film.
Somebody should watch
Olivier's in it. How can it not be great?
Yeah. Well, guys, do you have any other questions for Lucky? I know it's super late where you are, so again, thank you so much for...
Oh, dude, no, it's all right. I'm a night guy.
All right, good.
Well, I got a really random...
Yeah, if you would have said you were calling me at like 10 in the morning, I would have been like, look, man. I'm usually not up till 11, so that's gonna be rough.
I gotcha. No, I'm the same way.
That's right here too.
Yeah, so this is perfect, man.
Great.
Well, I got a really kind of random question. Not as random as your Reddit question, but Krieger, what would you have him like? What would be your ideal situation for him? Like to be a father, or would you rather him like? Where do you want to see him go in the series?
Oh man, like if I had a dream,
yeah, if you could control it,
he would rule the Isle of Kriegers.
Yes.
You know, with giant robot sentries posted all around the island.
Would he take Lana's
That
baby,
is
though?
my dream for one Algernon Krieger.
I would watch that
I would
spin-off.
say let's make that spin-off
It would
happen.
be a good show, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just like the wacky
And, you know,
adventures.
I was just at Marvel Comics last week because we had some network event in New York, and so I got to go tour Marvel Comics.
Awesome.
And they're all, you know, all those dudes over there are big Archer fans, and so I was like, let me pitch a comic book idea. It's Krieger and other super scientists from the Marvel Universe. Like, let's just say Reed Richards and Dr. Doom, and then like a henchman, some henchman or something, are in Krieger's van and they're driving cross country. It's like a 6-issue series.
I would buy
you-
30 copies.
You can totally see that,
Would that
though.
not be an awesome, like them just bungling their way across, and like Doom even hating Krieger because he's so weird?
I'm going
It would be so good.
I'm going to write Marvel Comics and try to back that as much as I
let's
possibly can.
petition.
Yeah,
totally
I would
see that.
Somebody start a change.org petition or something.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, send it to the White House.
yeah, make the White House address this. Absolutely.
Yeah, Obama, you have to address this comic book issue.
If we get like
on,
100,000
Right.
people, they have to
You
respond.
have to respond to it.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get it started for you, Lucky, and then hopefully we can get everyone else on the bandwagon and make that happen.
Excellent.
Literally on the band.
I'm going to start so many grassroots campaigns.
We'll get him on the rush wagon, as it were.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Lucky, again, thank you so much for agreeing to talk with us here. It's been so great listening to you and evolve as a character, and also just this entire season has been fantastic.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys.
Oh, thank you
thank
so
you.
much.
Yeah, thanks.
If you guys want to follow Lucky on Twitter, you are at Lucky Yates, correct?
That is correct.
All right. Well, go follow Lucky. Lucky, we can't wait for the season finale, and we can't wait for
Yeah, it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, can't wait for the next 2 seasons either.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, me too.
Find out about that mysterious Krieger and or clone.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know who he is.
All right, Lucky. Well, we will hopefully talk with you sometime in the future, and hopefully see the Lucky spin-off series.
Yes. Sweet. Yeah, anytime, guys.
All right. You have a
Thanks.
good night.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. You too.
All right.
Bye.
Lucky Yates, everyone.
Yay.
Hey.
What a swell guy for coming on the show and like talking with us.
That was
Answered
fun.
my other
Hanging out.
tweets. Yay. I'm just kidding.
Oh man, no, and that was so great to get the inside track, chaotic neutral, which was something that I never really because
It's absolutely perfect to describe Krieger.
I always thought of him as like, oh, good or evil, but no, there's a whole middle ground that we hadn't even begun to explore. So again, big thanks to Lucky Yates for coming on the show and answering our stupid questions. What a swell guy. That's my
great.
2 cents on that. We got a couple of final things to take care of here.
Let's actually talk about this episode.
Yeah, exactly. We might as well jump right into it. If you guys liked that interview, if you like what we're doing, if you like what AfterBuzz is doing, we would encourage you to go on iTunes, subscribe to the podcast. Not only can you subscribe to the Archer podcast, you can subscribe to any other number of AfterBuzz TV podcasts.
Over 70 hours of content a week.
You can't fit it in. That is a full-time job.
That's almost 2 full-time jobs right there.
Exactly. And you might need it. I don't even know if that meant Anyways, no, but through some crazy algorithm, it helps us keep the lights on in here. If you go in, if you rate and you comment and you let us know what you think. If you don't do it on iTunes, definitely go in onto YouTube and you can leave some comments there. Diane Sutherland just giving us a general well done, saying great show, and Viva Krieger Revolt. Very, very apt given that we just finished up that interview. Captain Awesome 314 giving us just a little bit of general love too, which we always appreciate, saying love the Archer recap.
Awesome name, by the way.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Exactly. Captain Awesome. It literally can't get any more awesome. And Joseph Boza, I apologize if I'm saying that wrong. He was just saying that last week's episode was really funny, and he loved that Archer got hit in the genitals by his own mother. Which he did not see coming. And yeah, definitely, maybe you didn't see it coming, but I think that's right in line with what Mallory would do. I think Mallory would be perpetually smacking her son in various unsightly areas if she had her druthers, as it were. But yeah, we appreciate you guys coming and comment, so, do more of the same.
And how many stars on iTunes?
5 stars.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
If you guys wouldn't mind, you can leave 5 stars or whatever you think we deserve. Because we want you to be honest above all else. Your honest opinions and thoughts help us make the show better. And that's what we want, because we want to give you guys a good show. And speaking of good shows, we're going to see a good show next week, presumably because we got a lot going on. Lana's baby is on the way, you guys.
Wait, did we talk about Cyril, though?
Well, we talked a little bit.
El Presidente, Cyril?
Yeah,
El Presidente.
That was a great, because we left last episode, we didn't know where he was exactly.
Right.
He had rolled in there with a tank, but you didn't think he was going to become the new
exactly.
dictator.
No, exactly.
It took me a second when the episode started. I'm like, wait, how is Cyril the dictator? Okay, he had the tank, but really? He's going to take the power just like that?
One tank?
Well,
that's amazing. He can't aim with a gun, but he can take power with a tank.
Well, I guess you don't really need to aim all that well with a tank.
Well, he aimed at Archer very well. So maybe he's really good with the joystick. I'm going to let you move on.
No, that's an excellent point, because in that sort of sets up the entire justification of how he took power, is that he was talking about famous battles of history and also Keith from his Warhammer yells.
I love that.
So great.
That's so great, because they basically set up that he's apparently this fantastic war strategist. Either one, because of Warhammer.
Yeah, that was great.
Fantastic. Only Cyril.
Yeah, all
Only
that
Cyril.
all that nerdiness finally pays off, and all of his weird eccentricities finally pay off in the form of, it turns out that this short, insecure little man is a perfect military dictator. Which, I don't know, I feel like that probably has something to do with all dictators, a little bit insecure, maybe.
Of course.
Yeah. Why else would you take so much power? Or maybe that means you're very secure. I don't know. But it was fun to see him rise and sort of take over as a madman, which we haven't seen before.
If he's not careful, Shane's going to get a hold of him.
That's right.
Well, we saw him being really bold last episode with taking over the tank. But again, he's sort of shrinking back into a little bit of cowardice, not to slam on Cyril too much, but he won't go to the rebel base camp, right?
Well, that just seems like a bad idea.
Right, because he's now
Oh, but Lana
leader.
going in as a pregnant mother is totally okay?
I
it'd
think they're
be
less
more safe.
Yeah, they're less likely to shoot the pregnant mother than to shoot the leader of
the opposition there.
The person they're actively attempting to kill.
Well, they don't necessarily know that he's the dictator yet. For all they know, it's still El
Fair
Presidente.
point.
Yeah.
I wonder if they do know. That's actually a good
That's a good
question.
point. Either way, I figured, it's better that he probably stayed behind for that very reason. But I thought it was fun to see him kind of have his moment there. Because it's sort of like Krieger today being kind of humanized, if that was really Krieger. But, it was the same thing where it was fun to see Cyril be able to have that moment, because he's never really been able to do that, really. So
Yeah, he gets these rare sort of
Here
flashes
and
of
there.
brilliance or power.
But he gets knocked back down when he sees the notes from Archer.
and he did again today, too.
Yeah, what was the exact line? I couldn't write it down fast enough. He wouldn't even let me have my one moment of... It was some very thorough explanation.
I know he had magnanimous in there and then something else, but I love the fact that, even when Lana was like, it's Archer time.
Yeah.
It's like, and if you tell him this, I will kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah, put him back in his place, too.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of people in their place also, while we're sort of off on the secondary character tangent, Pam she's always been thin this season, but now looking gaunt.
It's finally taking its toll.
Yes.
Was she super pale in this episode, or was it just my TV?
She was pale, but what I noticed that she had like eye socket lines.
She did.
She's becoming very frail and thin, like overly thin, and like she even admits that she might have a problem.
And that was the thing. That's why I think it kind of coincided with the physical transformation, was her finally admitting it, that she could have a cocaine problem.
And we've opened ourselves up now that she's got like coca leaves access,
the
a whole
smoothie.
new level of foods.
Yes.
Like there's tons of more options. Cocaine salads.
I've had the coca tea before. It is pretty good.
Cocaine. Oh, collared cocaine.
Well, no, it's coca tea. It's not. It's just where it's derived from.
Okay.
Do we need to stage an interview?
I actually have some at my house. It's really
Next
good.
week on the Archer AfterBuzz show, it's intervention.
Oh man,
That's good stuff.
I would love to see a cocoa leaf salad though. That would be good. Really great.
That could be all these green foods instead of all the donuts and whipped cream. Like she said, all empty calories.
Exactly.
I can go for some substance now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see where she lands on that. Hopefully, recovery.
I mean, Mallory
Mallory
really loves it there. She calls it their Zion.
Yes.
Oh my god, and just stray observation for a second, we finally got some real good Star Wars references in there.
Right.
But of course we had to layer it on with levels of Judaic mythology, I guess is the right, or Judaic faith, Judaic stories, as it were. And also just
everything.
Yeah,
Bible.
General Bible New Testament stories.
Was it, or they had that random line about the tractor beam releasing the Jews?
No, they had Emperor Palpatine staying under the rock for 3 days.
Yeah.
And then coming back more powerful than ever.
I mean, it's the perfect comparison. Cyril as Vader, Mallory as the wrinkled, frightening.
The wrinkled.
Yep.
She could, if you put a hood on her, she could easily be Emperor Palpatine.
We've really been hitting it with those early references and comparisons in each episode. We had the Breakfast Club comparison in prior episodes. So yeah, we're sort of just mapping the Archer crew onto various pop culture references now, which is great. Let's see some fan art of that. That's what I want to see.
Let's get to it, Internet.
Yeah, Internet. We are tasking you with an image of the Archer crew as Star Wars.
Do it.
If I don't see it in 4 days, I'll just wait longer.
I'll just wait another 4 days.
Do you guys have any other stray observations about this episode? There was so much going on.
There was so much going on. Yeah. Ugh.
I just really like Shane.
Yeah.
You want Shane as your new pet?
Yeah, well, if Shane can behave. But yeah. But I loved Cheryl, Carol. What are we calling her now?
Well, I love the fact that Archer, that was a stray
Yeah.
observation. I love that Archer called her Carol tonight.
Yeah, and
I missed that.
Yeah, I called her Carol, and I underlined it. I'm like, wow, he actually referred to her as her old name.
Yeah.
I don't want to say the line, but there's a line where she compares Archer to the tiger, and she's like, Shane's or you're more of a. Can I say it? I mean, it's a kitty cat form. Can I say that word?
Yeah,
On the show.
If anyone listening to this podcast watched the
Still
show,
listening to the show.
Yes.
That's good. When she goes, Shane, or you're more of a pussy than Shane is.
Yeah.
I like that line. That was funny. Made me giggle. Took me 5 years to say it. Thanks, guys, for the courage.
Good.
Great
You're
support.
welcome.
We do what we can here. Yeah, lots of good stuff there. And also the fact that we have the CIA.
yeah,
involved
Holly's
now.
back,
Yeah.
which I always figured he would be, but
Not in this
I didn't think he would show
way.
up here.
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy. It all comes full circle. You
With
guys.
Christian Slater in tow.
Yep.
It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. It's going to be a real crazy season finale because they got to tie up a lot of loose ends.
Yeah, I mean this is the Archer Vice finale.
Yeah.
Well, they got rid of Carol's husband, so that's done with. They're still gonna get his money
the
because
old dictator.
Yeah, because he bought all
Shane
those.
ate him right away.
Yeah, very quickly.
I mean, do we need to go into
Spooky theremin music? Yeah.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
All right, now we can get into it, you guys. Now it feels right. Everything is settled and right in the world.
Phrasing? No.
Oh, that's fine.
You kept talking. Never mind.
Roya, do you have any predictions?
I had it written down on my notes, and then I left my notes somewhere that's not in this room, so it doesn't really help.
You gotta remember.
But
you can remember.
Give me squirrel. I have like a short attention span. No, but I do remember the fact. I think who Mallory talked to in the very beginning of the season is gonna come out, and I think it has to do with Holly because obviously he's CIA, and I think that's gonna be revealed. And I still believe it's Archer's baby. Why else would Lana be so into Archer unless it was his baby? Just saying.
Okay.
Yep.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Yes.
Scott?
And I do agree with you on that. I thought it was. I mean, that's sort of the easy answer in this, but it makes the most sense that it's Archer's baby, and I think that would be great. I wonder if are we gonna find out though? That's the thing. I'm like, I don't think we're gonna find out who the daddy is. I think they're gonna leave that hanging all summer long here. So I don't think they're gonna let us know.
What if twist? It's Krieger's baby.
Right.
Yeah.
That would be.
I mean, my money personally is on Ray still.
Yeah.
I like that theory too.
But he's
I really
not very
do.
protective of her.
Yeah, but I do.
But it just the dynamic if like Lana and Ray are having baby and Archer's there like pouting.
And it has nothing to do with Cyril, nothing to do with Archer. I mean, I've always liked that theory. I think it's a good one. And I personally would like to see the Krieger clones still be alive because we were talking about vampires here. So I'd love to see them still be there, and because I think it would just be such a fun extra layer there to have them around.
Who do you guys think this clone is? Is it a clone or is it Krieger?
I know because he was so human in this episode.
I want it to be Krieger because
want
I
it to
like
be Krieger.
Krieger.
Because I wanted to see that extra dimension of him, but it would be fun.
I
Just
have
if
to
it
rewatch
wasn't.
this episode.
But either way, I want them to, a couple of those clones need to come back to
I
life
think-
as vampires.
I want all three
sense.
clones coming
I
back.
want them back.
Either regardless.
Right.
Well, he still could come back because we don't know exactly where they came from.
Yeah.
So not saying
There's
they're
just
dictator.
more elsewhere.
You never
You
know.
don't know. That's true. There
Door
could be
that's
more
open,
too.
so-
Island of Kriegers.
Yes.
Island of Kriegers.
Krieger Island.
What's your prediction?
All right, well, bear with me, you guys, because we're getting deep down into the clandestine mole burrow. I don't know. Rabbit hole. That's what I was looking for. Not a mole burrow, a rabbit hole.
What did you do as a child? Digging holes for
Digging holes for
We're down
moles.
we're down the rabbit hole.
Yes,
We're with you now.
We're down the rabbit hole here.
I'm sorry.
Supposedly, ISIS was shut down by the FBI, yes? Well, now it turns out that they are not FBI. It turns out they are CIA. What if ISIS was never ordered to be shut down? What if this was all part of some sort of weird false flag operation by the CIA, who did not want ISIS messing in their business? Thus, at the end of the season finale, we will find out that ISIS can in fact be back in business, and no one will be charged with treason.
Wow.
I like that. I have a different prediction though for how we're gonna get into next
your
season.
prediction?
No,
He's adding to
it's a
it.
bigger prediction.
Adding.
I think that I like that theory, but I've been thinking that they're going to get through all this and they're going to get hired to replace, like, they're going to be working at the CIA. So Mallory's going to, like, replace Holly as, like, the head of the CIA. And then they're doing it, like,
like
on an
that, too.
official basis for next season.
Wow, that could be interesting. I like that.
Them actually in a position of power? Ooh.
This is kind of, I don't know if it's going to happen next episode, but I want to know your prediction on it. Lana's baby, boy or girl?
Ooh.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Nice little
I should have gone with baby.
Yeah. Well, baby boy or baby girl?
Well, 50-50 chance here.
I think we need another strong female character in here. Let's get a female baby in there.
I'm going to say boy.
I'm going to say boy, too.
Girl.
So 2 girls versus 2 boys.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. That's just the way we want it there.
Half of us will be
Right down the
right,
middle.
and the other half
will be terribly wrong.
Death.
Right here on the show next week.
I don't think that's going to happen. Again, guys, first off, Internet, thank you so much for listening, as always. An even bigger thank you, sorry, Internet, to Lucky Yates for calling in and chatting with us and just being such a generally awesome guy and being an awesome voice on the show. We love you, Lucky. Please come back in the future. If you guys want to find us, well, first you can find Lucky at Lucky Yates on the Twitter. If you want to find us, let's go around the horn and tell them where they can find us.
Well, guys, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Hey Roya. That's HeyRoya, and I'm also on the Saturday Night Live After Show. Check it out.
And you can find me on the old Twitter at SMan80. That's SMAN80. And on Sunday Night Cosmos recap right here.
I'm Zach Wilson. You can catch me on Twitter at @ZachWilson, and also here at AfterBuzz on Grim and Resurrection.
And I'm Greg Goodness. If you want to find me on the Twitters, you can find me at Greg Goodness. It's just my name. It's pretty simple. Again, Internet, thank you so much for listening. We always appreciate it. Tune in next week for the season finale.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.